So there has been a ton of talk online surrounding Nintendo and their Switch OLED model unveiling since it happened just a few days ago. The biggest controversy being that we are getting the same old chipset from 2017 and really no enhancements other than the major display and some audio tweaks for handheld players. And if you're a docked player such as myself, it's a much harder sell. But separate from that, we are already going to have to talk about a major issue that will pop up with this console. So whether you're planning on getting it day one or down the line, I want to share with you a major issue that is already happening before even most of the world has gone live with their pre-orders. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbird Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, we are going to be talking about an issue surrounding Nintendo Switch and their OLED model, and regardless of which side of the fence you fall on in this thing, I'm very disappointed with the lack of performance improvement, but I do think that, the new kickstand, the audio, and the OLED screen will entice me personally enough to see if maybe I'll pick this up and play it more in handheld mode than I do with my existing Switch today. But an issue that is, really ongoing from especially pandemic times 2020 and onward, as we saw the PS5 and Xbox Series X launch over 6 months ago. It's been really 7 or 8 now, and you still cannot find these things easily, and that is primarily because of an issue around scalping. And while there is a chip shortage, there is any kind of product that is in high demand does get scalped, and it gets listed for double and triple prices online, and that is an issue that we are absolutely going to see with the Switch OLED model. And in fact, before most of the world's pre-orders have gone live, we are already seeing it pop up. And I want to read through a quick article from Nintendo Life, who is based out of the UK, and they do cover this because it's already popping up on eBay from pre-orders from a retailer like Game, which we do not have here in the US. And I don't know when Best Buy and Target and all of the other major retailers will go live. There's a couple tips that I'll share with you guys if you are trying to pick this thing up on day one, but this is an issue that is, continued to carry forward with all of these new high demand products, especially when it comes to electronics, and the Switch OLED model is going to be no exception when it does launch on October 8th. But first, let's read through that Nintendo Life article where they're basically stating what's already taking place in the UK and what that means for the rest of the global pre-orders when they do go live. Earlier this week saw the announcement of a brand new Switch, the Switch OLED model, and with pre-orders starting to appear at a number of retailers, some folks have decided to gobble up an order and sell it for profit. A quick search on eBay reveals several listings that promise to pass on a pre-order once it's been sent out to the seller this October. Some are hoping for a relatively small game like this one that's trying to sell the 309-pound machine for 350 pounds plus postage. But some are, well, our favorite scalper listing so far is this wonderfully optimistic effort from a seller in Wigan, UK. The listing shows that it's supposedly confirmed for 309 pounds pre-order from UK retailer Game, and asks any potential buyer to hand over the low sum of 800 pounds to make it their own. What makes it even worse or better is that you have to travel to Wigan to collect it from the seller in person. That would be fun. So that listing for 800 pounds is obviously outrageous, but you have to talk about the fact that we are going to see this happen, and the price will go as high as consumers allow it to. And really the unfortunate fact is with this being launched in a year where there's still a global chip shortage, and while the chip is a little bit older and probably easier for Nintendo to produce and get their hands on, it might not be as bad of a shortage as something like a PS5 and a Series X or S. But I do think that we're going to see this thing hard to find for the foreseeable future, especially leading into holiday season, as that is the time that everything ramps up regardless of what you're trying to buy. If there is any kind of new product at holiday season, chances are it's hard to obtain. And I think that unfortunately we're going to see this take off with the Switch OLED model. The only good news is if you're watching this video early on is that you may not have missed the pre-orders in the US yet. So I want to share with you some quick tips if you are trying to pick this thing up at day one and not pay scalper prices, because again, that's going to happen, and we're probably here in the US going to see a 350 console listed for $700, $800, $900 on eBay as soon as people start securing these pre-orders. So so far at the time of filming this video, none of the major US retailers such as your Target, Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, even none of them have gone live yet. Now Best Buy and GameStop both have a pre-order page created, but it says coming soon, and Best Buy is the one specifically that you can actually sign up for an alert for when the pre-order will go live. So I will recommend that, and I'll have both the Best Buy and GameStop links down in the description below in case if you do want to, keep an eye on these pages, or maybe just register your interest with Best Buy, as that's the one that's only currently doing that. And to my knowledge, there's no other retailers that have created a page other than GameStop and Best Buy being the only one that lets you register for your interest as far as, the email. But the thing with that is I don't know if that's going to be an email that comes out like a day in advance and says, hey, tomorrow at 3 p.m. is when these things are going to go live, or if it's going to be an email that comes out when it drops. And if that's the case, it's anybody's guess on if you'll get that email fast enough to actually make a difference for you, because I do anticipate, the dreaded just add to cart button circling and saying check back for stock. I mean, all of this stuff with consoles and graphics cards and trying to get things online is very tricky right now, and we're probably not going to see these things actually in stores because of the high demand. So the pre-order window is going to be very important, and we're going to be closer and closer to retailers just surprise dropping this thing. So the second part of the tip is, besides registering your interest with Best Buy right now, is that's one thing you can do, and then kind of keeping an eye on those pages. I will absolutely recommend Wario64 on Twitter to go ahead and enable his notifications and have it enabled on mobile, because I do think you're going to get a bunch of notifications from him. That's one thing, is he tweets out a ton of different retail links, but he's normally first to the punch when it comes to it being like a live pre-order link that's ready to go. You can hop in and grab it and add to cart. And then Jake Randall is another one who's a fantastic console hunter that helps people during live streams and stuff like that. If you guys want to be entertained while you're trying to pre-order, I definitely recommend his YouTube channel, and I'll have both of their Twitters linked down in the description as well, because this is going to be the key to actually being successful at not paying a scalper price for Switch OLED model if you are in that camp of people who are going to want to pick this thing up day one. So again, I'll leave all that stuff down in the description below, but what I really want to know from you guys is, obviously the Switch OLED model is a huge divisive topic right now, because there's a lot of fans that don't feel like it's worth this $350 price increase. And if I have my personal speculation behind it, I think we see this one, last at that $350 price point until Nintendo makes it the primary selling console to replace the Switch base model. And then I think, at some point they are going to release a 4K Switch or something that will be upgraded in terms of performance. Now, whether that's 2022 or 2023, who knows? It's all speculation. There's nothing official, but I do think that there's something else coming. But I want to know from you guys, if are you going to try to get the Switch OLED, and do you think that just because it's going to be scalped that maybe you're willing to try to watch this thing for day one, or is it something you're passing up on altogether just because you simply feel like Nintendo is charging too much for something that really isn't too much of a jump forward in terms of technology? So please leave all your thoughts on this topic with me down in the description below, and also just how you feel about scalping all in general in the world of 2020 and 2021, because it's obviously been frustrating for a ton of people. So I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all in the comments. And then before you do leave the video, go over to the community poll on the channel and vote in today's poll, where I will be asking you guys, if you're planning on getting a Switch OLED, even if the scalper prices get to it. Thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. I do truly appreciate you all sticking around until the end. I do at this point in the video want to invite you all one more time to join Sunbro Nation if you haven't done so already. Do so by subscribing below, hit the like button on your way out if you enjoyed it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you all have a great day. Sunbro Nation, out.